Hi everyone, this is Jeff from Yachts Australia. Today I'm down here on my own little boat, which is a Columbia 22, built in 1976, so she's getting close to her 50th birthday. Unfortunately I'm already past my 50th birthday, but there you are. Anyway, we've got a bit of a project that needs doing on the boat here. She's definitely starting to show some age in a few places. And over the years that I've had this boat, which is over 22 years now, there's been lots of little projects done and I've never filmed any of them. So this is a first. I'm inspired. I've been inspired by Stu and Marina from Sailing Seabird. If you haven't caught up with what they're doing, go and check it out. They're just fantastic. And they've really inspired me to really get my teeth in and see if this is a problem that I can solve myself. So without any further delay, let's get into it. So as you can see here, we've got a deck stepped mast, and over the years there's been a lot of compression on the deck there, and you can see quite clearly by that ruler that I've laid on the deck there that it's compressed quite a lot. Most likely there's a bit of moisture got in there as well. Obviously, as you can see, there's a few fittings that are bolted through the deck, so easy enough for moisture to penetrate. But as I say, she's nearly 50 years old, and this sort of stuff, well, it just happens. And you can see by that angle with the ruler just how much that mast has compressed forward and aft. Doesn't seem quite so bad on the port starboard axis, and it's a much smaller axis, so over that longer length there the whole roof has started to really compress down. That's what we need to solve. Okay, so we're down below now. One of the things about this little boat is we don't have full standing headroom. I'm about 5'7", I think, or 1.75. I'm not sure whether they are both correct, but I have to duck to go through the entrance into the forward berth, and as you can see, we don't have a compression post for this being a deck step mast, and that's why we're seeing this compression. And if you can actually see, and I'll bring this up higher so you can see the curvature in that beam that is encapsulated in the fiberglass. And then the weight is transferred down onto those horizontal, vertical beams here. Right. You can see up here. And that carries on down through the bulkhead, and then it's fixed down towards the floor through the fiberglass moulding into another panel on the inside. So part of the solution is going to have to be to put some kind of a brace through here so that we can take out that curvature and push that roof back up again. I won't go into the full details of the plan at the moment, but what we're doing today is taking some measurements and making a start on a template for what we are actually going to put in there. And yes, we're going to lose a little bit of headroom, but given that we don't have full standing headroom anyway, I don't really see that that's going to matter all that much. Not sure how clear this is because it's a bit darker here. I'm now in the forward berth. You can still see that curvature there that we need to try and take out. And this is the other side of the bulkheads, starboard side and port side, rather dark. And one of the other issues that we've got with this project is that we've got the bolts there for the mast step in the centre, those two there in the very centre, and then on either side we've got the bolts for the turning blocks by the foot of the mast. So anything that goes across through there is going to have to take into account access to those in the future should we ever need to. That's going to be one of the hard parts. Anyway, before we go on, it's a balmy 32 degrees Celsius here at the moment and about 70% humidity. The perspiration's pouring off me, so I think I might just put the boom tent up just get a little bit more shade. Not that it's particularly sunny today, but still it'll help to make things a little bit cooler. Okay, so first step, I've taken some measurements from the outside up here to the outside on the starboard side of these posts, and we're going to just come around here, and I've got a piece of ply here. That's a bit of 12mm ply, and I'm going to be building my template or mock-up out of that. So we'll start doing some measuring up on that for a starter and do some cutting. Measure twice, cut once, isn't that what they say? Okay, that's what they say. That's why you do it. We're off to a start. Okay, we can start to see a little bit where this is going. My next step here, now that I've got this panel up here, will be to take this radius here and then copy it into the panel here, so that eventually that will go up to the very top and we'll have a flat surface across there, and then we'll be pushing the whole thing up to straighten out that curvature. See how this goes. Okay, so you can see we've got two panels in there now, and if I get right underneath I can see where they are going to intersect with those bolts, and clearly the two in the center for the mast step seem to be okay. I'll be able to get a socket wrench up inside there, but the other ones I'm going to have to probably scallop the panels out just a little bit to accommodate those, which is not ideal, but it's better than encapsulating them completely and being unable to get them out again. So next step, just to get the radius on those sections here, draw those into my panels, and then I think we'll call it a day, head back to home where I've got a jigsaw and I can cut those out and come back to take on the next step. So I went out and bought a special tool just for this task. I've been wanting something like this for years and years and years, so I finally went and did it. And that just goes up there to take that radius. And then what we do is come with me. going to transfer it onto our panel. I cheated a little bit, I've already checked this. So that's about the spot that we want there. Get that aligned. So there's our radius. That's what we're going to be cutting out. And if my theory is right, I should just be able to flip that and we'll have the same on the other side. So let's check. So that's interesting, it's actually not the same. You can see we've already marked our spot there for the edge of the panel. We'll see how this goes. There we are at the top there. That should be about it. Starboard side. That's our point of alignment. That's the top of the roof here. That helps us to be square. Hey everybody, it's been a couple of days since I was down to the boat before, and in that time I've done a little bit of work on this panel that goes up here. So I've taken out those, let's call them scallops. This is first test actually on film, so we'll see how that's going to come up. It's looking pretty good. It certainly also clearly shows you that curvature where the mast is compressing there, so I'm pretty happy with that. And we're missing the bolts here as well, which is a good sign. That's a good start. And we've got the other one that goes on the back this way round, and that's going to go up on that side there. And again, we're going to be missing a few of the bolts, which is a good thing. But I need to do a couple of drill holes just in these corners to allow for these studs that go through the moulding and through this upright. So I think we'll start with doing that, and then we'll clamp the whole lot together, and we can take some more measurements. Hello, okay, another day back on this project to sort this curvature I've got in the compression area of the mast. Since the last bit of filming that I did, a fair bit of work has been done after taking measurements to cut and assemble my my template that I'm hoping to use to have a special piece of equipment manufactured to go up into here to support the mast area. As you've seen before, this is what we've been working on. And last time I was filming, we were talking about cutting these parts out here. So as you can see, that's been done to allow for these sections here. And I've also taken measurements for additional supports, bracing, that sort of thing, to allow for all these bolts that come through up here. The reason we make templates is to find out if it's going to work at all, first of all. So the idea is that this is going to fit up in here, and in order to put it in, I've actually made some pieces here, the idea being that any compression will be spread out to these posts here, and this piece just in here is going to be pushing laterally against this post here. I have a feeling it's not going to work, because what I've found is in order to put it into place, we can't actually get it all the way up there, and perhaps the width is a little bit tight. I probably need to loosen that off a little bit, but let me try it the other way around. And what we have here is that the template will not go to the horizontal because of those pieces that I've put in there. I'll grab you and show you a little bit closer, see if this works. So we can see in there and here, they're hard up against that post, but I can't get the thing all the way up to the horizontal. So yeah, I've made a miscalculation, shall we call it? So there's that one out, and that one out. So now you can see we've got those two end pieces removed, so there shouldn't be any problem to get this to go up into the horizontal. I really should remove this curtain, but for the purpose of the exercise, we can see that we can get it to the horizontal. Okay, and of course it's not going to go all of the way up here because of the bolt here on the other side of that, on the forward side in the berth there. That's stopping that from going any higher, and even if we went up a little bit more, just because of that curvature there, it's not going to go all the way up. That's the whole purpose of the exercise. So I'm not really going to know whether those cutouts are exactly right until we go the next step. Okay, another day, another attempt. If you look closely at what we've got up here now, you'll notice that I've reduced the height of this template. I just felt that before it was probably a bit of overkill, and I've changed the radius in here just to make it a little bit easier for flow in and out of the forward berth. So let's just bring you across to have a little bit of a closer look at what we've done. Okay, so what we've done is drill an awful lot of holes as we've been modifying this, but so you can see there from port to starboard what's going on. A couple of cutouts on this side and corresponding ones on the other side up there, just to allow access to those bolts that are coming through from the deck outside. And then as we have a look up this way, you can see that we've got access to all of the bolts from underneath as well, with all those, also those cross sections in there to give the whole thing additional strength. I have had to remove the ones that were at this end here and here. I was kind of hoping I would be able to have some spaces in there, or some braces like this one in there, just to help push the bearing out to those uprights on the bulkhead on this side here. So out to here. That's not going to work, couldn't get that to happen, so I will probably actually have a couple of holes pre-drilled in the final piece in here, and then I'll whack a lump of hardwood in there just to work between this brace up here, I don't know if you can see that, and the upright, just to help sort of push that load out to the sides. So that's where we're at. I'm pretty happy with it. I think the next step will actually be to jack that ceiling up, but one of the things that we needed to take into consideration, and we'll go outside and have a look at this now. If we have a look at the bottle screws on the stays here, they're going to have to be obviously loosened off quite a lot in order to be able to get the height increase, and there's not a lot of thread left on those screws. I don't know how well you can see that. So I've ordered a couple of longer connectors, these things down here, from my rigger, and we're going to extend that up so that we've got a little bit more thread on those bottle screws. So we'll be loosening those off, jacking the mast up from underneath, and pushing the whole assembly up to support that ceiling. That's the theory. I'm reasonably happy with that template now. I think we'll give it a go. I don't know what it's going to cost me. That's got to be made in stainless steel. I hope that their CNC cutter does a better job of doing a straight edge than I do. So that'll be the next step, I think. We'll come back and show you some more when we get to that.